Hey everybody, Carla here. Good morning. You see me without any makeup or anything. I just had a couple things that I wanted to say to all of you this morning. I know almost all of you are making the run to sales director, and we are halfway through the month of November. And I've had a couple of calls from some of you that are thinking, oh, can I really make it? Is this really possible for me? Should I focus on something else? And my answer to you is stay the course. I can tell you guys story after story after story of what Don and I have done when we've set our intentions and we've set our goals, and how we've ended up achieving them at the very, very, very last minute. Believe me, guys, you are all 3 feet from gold. Very, very first time I really experienced the magic of setting an intention and taking massive actions towards that intention was back in 2006. I had set my personal intention. My personal intention was that I was going to, and I wrote it down, just like Bob Proctor says. My goal read, it is August 20th, 2006. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm sitting in the ballroom at the Arizona Biltmore with 20 new associates on my team. 20 associates on my team. And so I set that intention probably about 2.5 months-ish prior to August 20th. Now, that was a good long time, right? And I got to work. And as the summer went on, tick, this person's committed to going, tick, that person's committed to going. And my list got up to about a week before the event in August. About a week before, I was still 5 or 6 people short. So I was a significant percentage-wise people short of my goal. And so of course doubt started creeping in. This stuff doesn't work, right? I'm never gonna make it. Oh, again, I'm gonna have to push off a deadline that I've set for myself. But I was set to prove myself wrong. And so I continued pushing. We had a couple more people get started over that week. Then somebody the night before the event decided to get in a plane and fly down and join us. And still, I'm at the event, and I'm like, you know what? This stuff doesn't work. I only have, I don't know what it was, 16 people here, etc. And then I looked closer at my goal, and I had written, I will have 20 associates at the event. And of course, if I added up their spouses, etc., it added up to exactly 20. So there's a couple things, and I'm going to tell you another story after this. There's a couple things to take away from that. Make sure that your goals are very, very, very specific. Those of you that are pushing for SD, and again, I know that's almost all of you, that is definitely still on the table. Do not stop pushing to get there. No matter what, you're growing your team. But secondly, know that everything can happen in the last second. Almost every single huge goal that Don and I have achieved, we've achieved it in the last fourth quarter, last 2 minutes of the game, right? And for those of you in the UK and Australia, I'm talking about American football. But it's happened at the very, very last few minutes. And those of you that have set big goals for yourself and achieved them, you've probably experienced the same thing. I'll tell another story. I told this to one of you guys this morning. Don and I were set to go to an event in Australia. We were supposed to attend an event in Australia back in, I think this is the summer of 2008. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly. And I said to Don, I am not going to Australia and sitting in a conference room for 5 days and then leaving, right? I'm going to go. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to take some vacation. We're going to see some of beautiful Australia. And then later on, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to go to Australia without going to the Great Barrier Reef. And then, of course, I'm not going to the Great Barrier Reef without staying on Lizard Island, which is like some ridiculous $3,000 to $2,500 a night thing. And then I'm not going to go stay at Lizard Island without going over to their other resort at Uluru and staying in these really cool tents. And then, I have to go visit my friend in Melbourne. Oh, and you know what? We should drive the Great Ocean Road. And it became this big, huge trip and a big, huge financial outlay as well. So I set this goal for myself a few months out. I had a little bit longer time than we have here. But I got to tell you, and I did get to work, massive action, but it was probably maybe 3 weeks-ish before we were going, and we did not have the money to go. We had bought our plane tickets, but that's about all we had, right? And so Don's looking at me thinking, we don't have to stay on Lizard Island. And I'm like, oh, no. Yes, we do. If we're going, we're going, right? Well, I don't know how we're doing this, Carla. I said, we're going to make it happen, right? And wouldn't you know, a week before, we had something like a $30,000 week. And obviously, we ended up going and having one of the best times ever in the most amazing country ever. Love Australia. Love everything about it. But my point is, keep your eyes focused on where you want to go. We all have doubt, concerns, worry that creep into our thinking, and that's okay. We're human. But I can tell you, miracles happen, and that you don't need a miracle yet, right? You're not on the last day of this month, but miracles happen, and we're doing this all as a team. And I'm watching you. I'm like a little proud mama watching some of you fall down and skin your knees as you're learning to walk. You're brand new at being entrepreneurs. You're brand new at this network marketing thing, and you're doing some things that are out of your comfort zone. And I'm very, very, very proud. And I'm proud that you're falling down and skinning your knees. I wish it didn't have to happen, but it's something that does. If you're going to walk or run, you've got to fall down. That's just part of the deal. But the cool thing is that we're in the right place at the right time. All you need to do is get qualified people that are actually interested in being entrepreneurs in front of that webinar, and then and we'll help you close them, or the webinar will just close them themselves. So don't lose sight of your goals. Make sure you read Albie's post. I copied it here in the email that I sent you. Fantastic post on how he has set a deadline for himself. I've set a deadline for many of you have set your personal deadlines for the 25th of October, so that you can score those gifts and promotional items and a weekend with you at our house with your team coordinators. So I'm going to be in constant communication and having pretty consistent conference calls with you guys over the next couple of weeks. Take advantage of them. You never know what's going to happen, and let's go get this together. I know this has been a really long video, but I really wanted to share a couple of stories, and God, those are only two. We have now hundreds of examples in our lives where we have just pushed and pushed and pushed to the last minute, and we have scored big time, like winning the Super Bowl. So let's go out there and kill it, guys. Thank you. Go be amazing today, everyone. Bye.